Hello and a pleasant afternoon, everyone. My name is Amor Deluz with the Monique Woolley Foundation. Hashtag when feeling blue, think yellow. We are here today in Beverly Hills. Can't wait to hear this phenomenal story from Chana Gedy, who have been one of my dearest friends. We have met, and today she is prepared to share her story. And if you listen, I want to tell you, if you're not ready for this, get ready. Get ready to hear a phenomenal story. And if you have children around, maybe that's not be the story for them to hear, but let me share something with you. Do make notes, because this is very, very important. And I am very proud to announce and introduce Miss Chana Gedy. Girl, I got it right, did I not? Please tell me I did.
You did.
I did. Chana Gedy. I mean, she corrected me, let me tell you. We've been calling her but she decided to go to it another, and I'm okay with it. But yes, well, here we are, excited to hear your story. And I will be quiet and just give you the floor, as we do to all of our other special guests, and start out by telling us who you are and where you've been and your story. And we'll just sit here and listen.
Thank you, Amor. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm honored.
Absolutely.
Like you said, I'm Chana Gedy, and I'm originally from Israel, which is a war zone. I grew up in a war zone country, and chose to leave that environment and come to a place where there is more peace. I've coped with depression for my childhood and teenage year into adulthood. As you know, there is stigma behind admitting to it and talking about it in the open. I've learned throughout my journey that I don't identify with that, and that's not who I am. I believe that depression is environmental. There is factors that come into play that cause that, and at times it could also be hereditary, that comes from previous generations and from previous trauma that was experienced, and we carry it into the next generation unless we do the work that we do. And what you do is so important, is work that not a lot of people are taking on, and you're doing this work every day, every single day. I've coped with suicidal thoughts for as long as I can remember myself, and this may sound a bit controversial, but I'll say it anyway. I almost feel like that the people who are no longer with us are in a way brave, because they felt in a certain way and they didn't want to feel that way anymore. I think that I had those thoughts for years, and I didn't execute it, and I'm happy that I didn't. It wasn't until I've experienced with psychedelics that one particular experience was a DMT. And I think I should add that the depression that I felt and what I was coping with was partly curiosity about what was on the other side, right? What was life after death? And that curiosity was very prominent to me. And when I experienced DMT and I went on that journey, what I learned is that when you're no longer alive, there is no sensations and feelings and emotions. And after I've had that experience, I've never had suicidal thoughts. And I learned it because when I came back from that experience, the first thing I felt was the fringes of the blanket on my chin. And that's how I knew that I was alive. And so what I learned from that is that those feelings and sensations and emotions, even those difficult ones, this is what life is, right? Feeling the sadness, feeling the happiness, feeling the anger, feeling the emotions, right? This is our living experience. This is who we are as humans. And our capacity to experience happiness is to the degree of our capacity of experiencing sadness and the depression, right? So it's relational, right? If we experience sadness, we can experience happiness. And if we experienced a lot of sadness, we can experience a lot of happiness. Mm-hmm. And so my new outlook of life is experience those feelings, experience those emotions, those sensations, because this is the gift that we've been given in this life to experience, to live through those experiences and to grow from it. And then to help other people learn how the journey. Mm-hmm. And the journey of regulating our nervous system, our emotions, learning how to come back to a parasympathetic state where we experience trauma or we experience an event that left a mark on us. It's what do we do to bring ourselves back to the center, to groundness, so we don't sink down. And so for me, I always say, if you look back, look with a purpose, right? Revisiting experiences that have happened in the past are important when we want to understand why we feel the way we feel and why we act and respond the way we do, so we can understand ourselves and our subconscious and why we do what we do. Mm-hmm. But revisiting experiences for just the purpose of re-experiencing that event is not useful to me. That's what I found. So I don't go back there anymore. I move forward.
Good.
And if I look back, I look with a purpose of propelling and moving forward.
Evolving. Wow. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, that's totally, totally beautiful. And I certainly can admire what, your deliverance and your experience, because I truly believe that everyone's unique and every story deserves to be heard, and every story has a meaning. And even with the traumatic experience that comes with this story, that it's for someone else. It's to give hope. And our motto with the Monique Woolley Foundation that it's okay not to be okay. Because there is help out there. A lot of people just feel like they're so alone, and you're not alone. There's resources, there's people, there's help, there's supportive things that one can do. And I'm so grateful and honored to have had you as a friend. And I'm really love it that I can call you a friend. But also that, your experience is vital. People need to hear that, to get other people's hope. Because I'm sure there's so many people out there who have gone through what you have gone through, and understanding that, that it's going to be okay.
Yes. And I think a couple of important things is that to remember that your depression is not who you are. That's not all of who you are. And the other thing to remember is that our traumas and experiences, some of it is not even ours. It's coming from generations before us. And if we're familiar with the science of epigenetics, the epigenetics studies how trauma is being passed from generation to generation via DNA mutation. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes what you're dealing with, the memories that are embedded in your body, are not even yours.
It's generational curse.
It's generational curse, or generational trauma,
yes.
an event that has happened. And the work that we're doing is healing generations before us. And that's what I learned in Peru. I was on an ayahuasca retreat, and what I've learned from this tradition is that the work that we're doing is healing 7 generations before us and the 7 generations to come. And that's hope right there.
Yes.
And the hope that helped me is that I'm healing generations before me. It's not my stuff, right? It's what my ancestors have experienced, and the events that they went through that have been passed on to me, and then me growing up in a war zone affected me on many levels, right? So I carried it with me, but then I chose to break the pattern, and I left the war zone, and I came to a place where there's more safety and serenity, and where my nervous system can learn how to relax and regulate itself, still through hard work of been doing breath work for years on end. I've been doing somatic experiencing for years. I've been
and you're
doing
drumming.
work,
Oh, I love that.
the sound bath.
Yes, the sound bath.
All of that is to help teach my nervous system to regulate itself. So when an event happens, I can look at it and say, okay, this is what happened, but it doesn't need to shake me, right? And I can find my ground again.
That you can be unshakable.
We can be unshakable, or we can be like a tree that, right, is strong rooted in
with
the
its
ground,
roots,
but it's still flexible and can sway in the wind, right? But it has a strong spine,
yes,
roots on the ground.
A great foundation.
A great foundation.
Yes. I so agree. And I am so blessed to say that this foundation have healed me. I'm not fully healed, but it's given me so much joy. And, the armor of the Lord is our joy. And I'm a woman of God, and so I will refer to my God and I love him. And I love that he had given me this assignment, and this is assignment that I am to touch the heart of the people and let them know that they are loved, that they are cared for, that they matter, okay? And that what we do is sit down and we listen, which is something a lot of people do not do. They don't know how. They're ready to fix. I can't fix you. But what I can do and create something like this, giving you a platform for you to share with the people. And I am certain that you're going to touch so many lives, because what we do, they write in to who they feel that they connected with. And then we come around with the circle of healing. And that's where we answer the questions that they so desire to wanting to have an answer to. So I am so blessed and so honored that you were here today, and the day that we spent together. Thank you so very much. And please, I definitely want to know what is going on with this outfit. It looks so...
I do want to talk about that, but I wanted to say that I'm so appreciative of you, of inviting me, and
look at that. You're having me teary-eyed, and you haven't even said anything yet.
Giving me the courage to speak out about this, because I would not have done it without you. So I appreciate that. And the work that you are doing is so profound and so needed, especially in times like this when there is so much chaos going on. And like you said, it's being a listening ear. That's what people need. We can't do the work for them. We can't fix no one, and there is no ultimate healing. Oh, I'm healed.
Yeah.
There is learning about our patterns, our habits, why we do what we do.
Changing the paradigm.
Breaking the paradigm, changing the paradigm. And most times it's really observing our subconscious and why we do what we do. So maybe one day we can make a different decision.
Absolutely. And I find it fascinating too. I've been doing more meditating, especially in the morning time, because the work that I do, I get pound on. And I had to know how to release, and this is just so good and so wonderful. And I highly recommend people who's going through to get therapy, to get a group session, to come to us as the Monique Woolley Foundation, because after we have our guests such as yourself, we welcome them to become an ambassador. And what does that mean? That just means that you speak of the company, you speak of your experience, and you also speak to the life of other people. Because I speak 6 different languages and I don't speak suicide, okay? And you can't give what you don't have. And that's definitely one thing that I've known. And in Carrie, I just so appreciate you and love you. And you look, I must say, you look so stunning. And so
this is Madison Savvy by Diana Nguyen. Yes, I was the chair of the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce, and now we're a member. And that's her brand, so I'm representing her.
Guess what? She's an ambassador of the Monique Woolley Foundation.
Oh, I love hearing that. That's wonderful. She's a very good friend, authentic, and
very real, down to earth, really, really beautiful person. So we're inviting you to be an ambassador as well. It's something you need to think about. What it does, it just invites you to come and to speak to the heart of the people, and to serve and take all that in.
I appreciate that. And I'm so excited about the upcoming Circle of Healing on August 21st.
Yes, absolutely.
August LS Hotel.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Honoring first responders,
the fire department, the police department. We're excited. We're offering only $25 per person, and all the proceeds goes to the Monique Woolley Foundation to help us to do the work that we do. And we're looking forward to it, and I mean, quite a few people are looking.
It's always a good party.
Yeah, absolutely. The dancing and the light and celebrating life.
Yes.
Yes, you need to just take our hats off once in a while and just breathe.
Amen.
It's just breathe.
One last thing I do want to mention, with your permission, is for us people are wanting more from life and want to experience more. What helped me the most in my healing journey is working with my body. So our experiences, our traumas are becoming physicalized in the body, right?
It does.
The memories, the events. And so doing things like tremor work, where we're shaking out these events and experiences from our bodies and encouraging our breath to become less restricted, to be more spontaneous. That's how we create this chain, and that would help our mental and our mindset and mental health.
It's definitely need to be a priority. And if you would be so kind as to look into the camera and speak to the heart of the people and let them know with your experience and wherever they at, okay, why it is of importance to them to understand that they have a purpose, okay, and suicide is not the answer. Would you be so kind?
There is a reason why you came to this experience. There is a purpose that you may have not had a say in it. I always say that we didn't have a choice coming to this world. What is our gender and what our name is, right? Our parents decided what to name us. And trust your journey, trust your purpose, keep going, keep moving forward. And even on the days that you feel that you can't, know that you can. And even if it just means stepping out of bed, taking a shower, eating a meal, drinking some water, and if that's all you can do, that is enough. And maybe get some sun.
Yes. Well, I have to say that you are enough. And what I've learned is that I am enough. And we have to speak these positive energy to ourselves so that we can continue to evolve. Because once we stop evolving, then we die. And we're not ready to pass. The Monique Woolley Foundation, I want to be able to outlive me, to be able to, once I meet up with my grandson, which is my daughter's son, that he knows that we did good work in helping people and let them know that it's okay not to be okay, and that we have the resources and everything that we need to do. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Hannah.
I love you. and
I
admire
love you.
for
Thank
what
you
you're
so
doing.
very much. I met your friend today, and she said the kindest things about you saying about me. I want to give you a hug about that. Oh, my goodness. You're amazing. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
I am so excited about your future.
I'm
It's going
excited about your future, and you are Miss Fabulous in my mind.
Oh, well, listen, honey, Miss Hannah, you're going to be fabulous. I'm looking forward to our future and what we have to do with the Monique Woolley Foundation.
Amen
All
to
right.
that. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
So, everyone, I just want to say you've heard it, and this is only the beginning. There will be a part 2, so stay tuned. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, the Monique Woolley Foundation. And when feeling blue, think yellow. Yes.
So, I deal with OCD, and as it turned out, it saved my life. You see, I collect papers, receipts, and any kind of document that might be helpful to defend myself in court, should it become necessary. I have 10 years worth of bank statements, all arranged according to month and year. I have 7 years worth of Time Warner statements of paid Wi-Fi services from when I lived in New York. My original gym membership contract from 2009, my first lease. When I moved from New York to Los Angeles with 4 big suitcases, 2 of them were filled with papers. So, if anyone tries to frame me and say, you killed this person, I'll show my Wilds receipt. Shopping at 11:05 p.m. on Saturday, June 23rd, 2018 in Los Angeles, California. These papers signify my identity and everything that I've accomplished since I ran away from home, my hometown Jerusalem 10 years ago. Growing up in an environment where soldiers were kidnapped, tortured, and killed, an environment where war alarms go off, demanding that you enter the war room and put on your gas mask. An environment where bombs go off in buses, restaurants, coffee shops, schools, and pretty much any kind of a public place. And there is no way to escape it because there is no definite schedule of where and when the bombs will go off. And when you say goodbye to your family in the morning, you don't know if you'll get to see them again at night. It's like you're always on your toes, jumping at a squeak of a fly, running away from danger, fighting for your life. Survive, survive, survive. And just like they say, there is always a price to pay, mine was my family. Leaving behind my 11 brothers and sisters wasn't quite the icing on the cake. There were times I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and all I wanted was to end it. But when I was in the beginning stages of planning my suicide, I came across an obstacle: my papers. I didn't want to leave any traces behind me or give anyone the pleasure of knowing why. I wanted it to be a mystery and a fuck you to everyone. So as I carefully planned to destroy all evidence, I figured it would be best to burn all the papers. As for the digital content, I'd planned to delete all my email accounts, dip all my electronics in water, and throw them in the ocean. The plan seemed doable and somewhat easy. But then I came across the dilemma of what will happen if the suicide mission won't work? And I'd find myself with no papers, no identity, unable to defend myself. Today, when I drive through the streets of sunny Los Angeles, look up the blue sky and the tall palm trees, I ask myself, am I in heaven